love it.
Look at the oak tree. So many trees, it's gorgeous. The walk through from the front. Oh, look at the light fixture. This would be enough space for me to work out of. I think the house itself just has so much potential. I didn't expect to like this one as much as I do, honestly.
I mean, they would need to have a roof that's gonna qualify for an insurance policy, or else like no bank is gonna finance that.
We went into the inspection period. It was just like the trifecta of all of the things that could be wrong with the property. Yeah. We'll see what happens. Hello, 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 hello. If you watched my house touring videos, you're gonna recognize this one because I put in an offer and then I backed out after the inspection period. Well, here I am again. So I actually put in an offer on this house, went through the inspection period, spending like $2,000, and then decided to back out when I learned about all of the problems and expenses that this house might incur. But I knew deep down that something about this lot just made me feel some type of way because of all the trees and, well, just the feeling that you get on this lot. There's roosters crowing and birds and more trees than I could ever want. Well, that's not true. I like trees. I went and toured some more houses the following week after backing out of the offer and immediately regretted that decision because none of them compared. I got really upset after leaving those tours, and my mom knew. My mom said, you need to go back into contract on that house. You need to put your offer back in. And I slept on it and did it. And here we are. It's officially my house. But there are some big issues that I'm gonna have to deal with right off the bat with this house, including replacing the roof. So if we come over to this side of the house, the big issue with closing this deal was not being able to insure the roof in the condition that it's in. Essentially, everything on this house is original to the build, which was in 1999. So the septic, the well, the air conditioning, and the roof are all 26 years old, which is an issue with a shingle roof. So fortunately, my lovely friend Tiffany was able to work it out so that I could close this deal and get the loan with insurance on the roof under the condition that we get it replaced as soon as possible, being tomorrow. It's definitely long overdue, and there has been a little bit of redneck engineering going on that I fully respect. But I kind of had a hunch that the roof was going to be an issue and knew that it would need to be done within a year or a couple years. I didn't know it was going to be immediate. And then some more things were uncovered in the inspection. We do not have city water or sewage out here in the country. So the two big things that can be super expensive are the well and the septic tank. And well, well. It's old, but it works. But there's a leak. So I had to do my due diligence, which I absolutely hate that phrase now after a month of doing due diligence. I don't ever want to hear the words due diligence again. I wanted to get the well checked out by a well company because of this rust and some water being around it. And they essentially told me that it can't be fixed, it's a ticking time bomb, and it would be $8,000 to drill a new well. That's what freaked me out and made me back out of the offer. But after getting a few more opinions, it works, and I'm just gonna hold my breath that it will continue working for a while. We dug up under this rust spot and the pipe looks fine. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Or is that the saying? Don't fix it if it ain't broke. On the bright side, there is a little shed right here, which will be super good for storage of furniture supplies or any sort of yard tools, but this is definitely going to need to be replaced down here. That's not very safe. And now over on this side of the house is definitely my favorite part of the yard, and I have no idea what I want to do with this little building, but I have a few ideas. So my mom thinks that this should be a chicken coop, and I totally agree that that's a great idea. However, I have a lot of work cut out for me, and I don't really know that I'm ready to take on the responsibility of chickens yet. Actually, I don't know what I'm going to use this building for. I could make it an outdoor seating area. I could make a chicken coop. I could close off the walls and turn it into another storage shed. I could store firewood in there. I don't know, but there's a pretty sound structure and I think that I can make it look cool. I don't know if it's super practical, but I think it would be cool to turn that into like a tackle shop for all of my fishing supplies. But the thing is, the septic tank is right over here. So I need to figure out what area exactly that I can't drive over, because ideally in the future I would have a carport over here that I could park the boat, and then I could keep all the fishing stuff in here. But I would need to make sure that it has walls and is weatherproof. So this is where they dug up all the doo-doo during the inspection period and pumped out like 800 gallons. And that is when I found out that there's roots growing in the septic field. I don't know if it's necessarily around the tank or just in the drain field, but they made it sound like it was an issue. The toilets are flushing. I've already broken them in. But yeah, that could be an issue down the road too that could cost around 10 to 15 grand. And I'm just holding my breath that nothing goes wrong with it. My parents think that these companies try to like, you know, scare you into buying the new thing. And I don't know if that's the case. They seem like trustworthy people, but I also tend to be the type of person who just trusts everybody. So I don't know. It's a risk that I decided I'm willing to take. The previous owners of this house definitely had a deep love for their animals, and it just warms my heart knowing that I have the opportunity to bring this house back to life and bring new lives into it. So yeah, that's the yard. Absolutely my favorite part and what sold me on this house, but it also has really good bones too. Just needs lots of cosmetic work, and that's what I want. So this house is a 1,200 square foot 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom with a great foundation and actually a really nice floor plan, which was a major selling point because I really don't want to have to be tearing down a bunch of walls and figuring that out as a first-time homeowner. The other thing I really like about this house is the real wood-burning fireplace that I have so many ideas for. It's such a focal point in the room, and that it goes all the way up to the ceiling. It's just perfection. The only thing that I'm not in love with is the color of the bricks. You can see the red kind of underneath, but there's some sort of wash on it that's making it look a little bit grayer than my taste. And I would really like a warm and cozy red brick fireplace with a lighter grout. So that's my vision for that. And hopefully I can somehow dye the bricks or strip the finish that's on top of the brick. I don't know. If you know anything about that, please let me know. And the other idea with this fireplace is that we take this off and put a bigger mantle or something that goes all the way extended to the edges. I have to measure it and look on Facebook Marketplace. Now in this little dining area, I actually love the light fixture that she already had in here. It's very Abby branded. It's vintage stained glass, which if you watch any of my thrifting videos, I am always drawn to stained glass lamps. So I think that this one might have to stay. It just needs to be raised up a little bit higher and cleaned. And I've already got my first piece of furniture in the house. I found these bar stools on Facebook Marketplace for $30, and I plan to refinish them, but that's not a top priority right now. The one layout in this house that I actually would like to change would be the kitchen, and that is simply because it's just not optimized for counter space or actually cooking, and I think that we have a better solution for it. The idea is that this sink at an angle is taking up way too much space, so if we were to have the sink up against the wall, bring the cabinets down a little further, remove the peninsula, remove this wall or switch the door to the center, and then have cabinets over here in the refrigerator and turn it into a galley kitchen. Then I would have 2 rows of cabinets, a center walking space, and we could turn this huge laundry room into a pantry because it doesn't need to be this big. But the thing with that is that it's a little bit later down the road type of situation because I would like to get this place livable so that I can move in and start working on projects room by room. And gutting the kitchen isn't exactly in my skill set right now, so baby steps. Here's the porch. I love, love, love this porch. It is like a little backyard oasis. The only thing that drives me nuts is the giant eyesore of the well. So my plan for that is to get some sort of housing to cover it and then build like raised planter beds that can be removed, because you need to be able to access the well to service it. But I think that planters around it would look a lot prettier than a tarp. Now I'm running out of daylight here. The main issue we have back here is this middle bedroom has a layer of sheetrock on top of the old wall that I don't really understand and is gonna need to be fixed. So somehow I'm gonna have to figure out how to tear this wall down and put new sheetrock. Is that how it works? I don't know. And for this back master bathroom, I don't really know what I'm gonna do with it just yet, but I would love to remove the soffits on the ceiling and of course put tile in here and a new vanity and honestly new everything. But it would be really cool if I was able to remove these soffits and take the ceilings up all the way. I already had my dad come over and replace that light because he's an electrician. Whoop whoop. And the only other thing with this shower to make it usable is that I need to seal this up, and it should be usable until I'm ready to renovate it. So yeah, that is the tour of my first house and some of the projects that I plan on doing over the next few months to years. The first thing that's gotta happen though is the roof going on tomorrow, and I'm going to attempt to scrape these popcorn ceilings myself. I don't know what I'm getting myself into. I'm gonna start with the back bedroom, see if I feel like I'm capable of doing it, and then go from there. Oh wait, last thing really quick before you go. I forgot to show you the garage and the laundry room. Well, there's not really much to see in the laundry room besides that it's kind of big. Like, whatever. And the water heater is really old. I hope that it will last me a while, but if it doesn't, I'm gonna replace it with a updated one that doesn't take up so much space. So I have a 1-car garage. The garage door works because my dad fixed that too. He had to fix a wire, and I think it's gonna be perfect. I've got some shelves already, but it needs to be thoroughly cleaned and painted. But yeah, a 1-car garage is really all I need for right now because I'm gonna mostly be working on house projects for a while, and I will still be refinishing furniture, but for the house. So I'll only be doing 1 or 2 pieces at a time and not running an assembly line down the street, at least for a while. And honestly, if I want to do an assembly line, now I can do a really long ass assembly line of nightstands. Yeah. Like 100. The thing is, I didn't want just any house that was going to be move-in ready to fill with my furniture flips, because then I wouldn't be flipped by Abby. I knew I wanted something that had good bones for a first-time homeowner that needed a makeover. And that's exactly what I found. I don't know, I really don't know what to do. I have to know by the end of today, because the roof has to go on immediately. We finally narrowed it down to 2 roof colors. I am gonna go drive by. I feel like such a stalker.
I just took pictures of people's houses. They probably think I'm the FBI.
I did that earlier. I have to make a decision.